Candy, do you want to swear people in the room first, and then you can swear them in on Zoom?
Okay. You guys please stand up and raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this country, the truth, the whole truth, and not correct yourself, you got it.
Okay, Lane, if you want to go ahead and get started, we're going to do things a little differently tonight to the way we originally done them, where we are going to allow you to present your witness, then open it up for a board and public comment, and then continue to that.
So, yeah, I was doing with this on council for.
Can I turn this on?
LLC, the applicant for the Shultz Bernard Well Pad. Agency conditional use approval for the oil and gas development under your ordinance 9/2011. For one pad, the current plans for 5 wells, with the flexibility to add additional wells in the future up to a total of 14. The proposed well pad is located in a drilling overlay established by ordinance number 10-2011. Tonight we present evidence showing compliance with ordinance number 9-2011, which had previously amended the township's unified development ordinance to establish requirements for oil and gas development. Just two preliminary matters. With our understanding that as Jocelyn Ebert's introduction from August 14 would be included as part of this record. We do have one question, however. Our understanding is standing was granted to 2 individuals, Mr. Moniger and Mr. Markovich. We did not object to either of those based on their testimony as to where they were located. Since then, with respect to Mr. Markovich, he had testified that he basically lived along Route 980 in relative close proximity to the well pad, the Shultz Well Pad. We cannot find any record of any property ownership by Mr. Markovich anywhere in that area, and the only record we have of ownership of him for property in the township is at 1009 Mayfair Drive, which is located several miles away. So I don't know if Mr. Markovich is here and maybe could clarify what his relationship is to the proximity of that pad.
Yeah.
Mr. Markovich is not blocked this evening.
That's all.
He was speaking of property and along 980.
John Flair
John
and Rosemary.
and Rosemary is on the property.
Intention of those individuals to have standing here.
I think he wants standing on the property.
Okay. With that, we will get started. As with the Connor Samuel pad, we have a number of exhibits that we want to note up front. Exhibit 1 is a binder of all the application materials submitted by range. And we have tabs A through Q. I'm not going to identify each of those specifically tonight, but to just direct the board's attention to the index that we get in front of Exhibit 1, which identifies each of those components. We have other exhibits that have been provided both in hard copy and electronically to the township. Exhibit 2 is a PowerPoint that Mr. Carmack will be testifying to. Exhibit 3 is Lennon Smith's Solar Aid March 18, 2020 letter. Exhibit 4 is the Planning Commission recommendation. Exhibits 5 and 6 are ordinances 9/2011 2011 and 10 from 2011 respectively. Exhibit 7 is our excerpt from the proposed comprehensive plan. Exhibit 8 is the township aerial. Exhibit 9, which is called an azimuth aerial that Mr. Matz will testify to. Exhibit 10 is some materials related to historical oil and gas development in Cecil. Exhibit 11 is DEP gas registration mapping for Cecil Township. Exhibit 12 is also relates to registration for Cecil Township, specifically active in producing wells. Exhibit 13 is a work trailer sheet, and Exhibit 14 is an aerial map that was introduced on August 13. I think I misspoke as to the date, and it was August 13 regarding standing issues. So with that, with those introductory comments, I'd like to call Mr. Matz. Mr. Matz, could you state your full name for the record?
Carl Matz with Range Resources.
And your employee of Range?
Yes.
And what is your title and position with Range?
I'm a civil and environmental engineering manager.
Okay. Now, in the Connor Samuel hearing, which was held previously, you went into more detail as to your job responsibilities and your employment and educational history. I'm not going to dwell on those now, but we'll just reference those for the board's benefit. Exhibit 1 is the application binder. What was your role in connection with preparing that binder?
Our group collectively prepares the binder. I guess I have a little bit of oversight with that. If questions arise, we'll get together and discuss it and reach out to which department that particular issue might pertain to.
Carl, I don't know if maybe you could get a little closer to your laptop. You're audible, but it can probably be a little better.
All right, a bit better now?
Yes, thank you. One of the components of the Exhibit 1, the application materials, Exhibit 1C is a narrative, and Exhibit 1D are what are labeled compliance comments. Were you involved in the preparation of both those documents?
We prepared them as a group. I'm certainly responsible for any of the questions or, I guess, a bit of oversight of that preparation.
Okay, and what are compliance comments? What are their purposes? What are their purposes?
The purpose of the compliance comments is to point by point go through, in this case, the oil and gas ordinance requirements, and then spell out specifically how we comply with that requirement.
And to the best of your knowledge, the information contained in the compliance comments and the narrative true and correct?
It is.
If you could turn to Exhibit 3. Carl, can you start projecting your documents up on the screen? Just skip over 2 for the moment, then go to 3. One page before. Is Exhibit 3 correspondence from the engineering firm representing the township?
It is correct with respect to zoning.
And what was the conclusion of the engineering firm when Smith and Solar Arrays are related to a zoning review of the Shultz Bernard conditional use application?
I determined that we met zoning requirements.
Okay. Now to Exhibit 4.
He's controlling it.
Yeah. At least it's all of us.
Were you involved in a presentation of the conditional use application to the Township Planning Commission?
Correct. We did the planning commission meeting as well.
And what action did the Planning Commission take on the application?
They were recommended for approval and advancement to the conditional use hearing with the supervisors.
And that was subject to comments from Lennon Smith's letter dated June 17, and a recommendation that sound walls be erected. Is that correct? Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. We still are having some ongoing communication with the review engineer, some technical comments regarding stormwater management, but we fully trust we'll be successful with that.
And those aren't part of the conditional use application. Those would be a follow-on item after, if the project was given conditional use approval. Was that correct?
That's correct. They referenced the letter in their review.
Okay. Let's go now back to Exhibit 2, which is a PowerPoint that you prepared. Is that correct? First screen is entitled Shultz Bernard 11289 Location Overview. Can you provide walk through the overview that's depicted on that PowerPoint screen?
Sure. It just contains a small aerial imagery of the limit of disturbance and the green edge of gravel. Stating the address of 270 Bellotti Road, McDonald, PA. With the parcel numbers identified, there are 2 parcels that this development is on. The owner of the parcels are identified, J. Shultz. The zoning district R1. And again, the size of the well pad, 14 wells, 5 initially proposed. It also includes a projected operations timeline with construction occurring in the spring, March 21. Air rig showing up in the summer, August 22, with our horizontal rig arriving in the beginning of 25. Completion stated for May 25, and then turning line production in July of 25.
If you could go to the next screen. And is that screen another, is that screen the site plan for the well pad?
Correct. This is the erosion control overall site plan depicting well site, well pad, as you see right here, basically the 480 by 315 well pad. The lease road, as you can see coming along, it also identifies the township boundary line with the entrance to the well pad, Mount Pleasant, with this line as you cross over into Cecil right here. There's some stormwater basins indicated. Here's a stormwater basin right off the entrance, one pretty much at the municipal boundary line. There's a third stormwater basin closer to the pad, receiving the bulk of the runoff from the pad. It depicts some topsoil piles and just some other general information. Intermittent stream that runs through the parcel that we cross over, as well as the entrance condition will pave the first 50 feet of that. That's depicted in this plan as well. The total limit of disturbance in this project is 22 acres in size, just over. The access road is about 2,760 feet long. We did get our ESCGP approval from the Department of Environmental Protection on October 5th, 2017.
What's the size of the parcel?
There's 2 parcels that, as I mentioned. This sliver of parcel in Mount Pleasant is about 10 acres in size. The bulk of well pad will be on the 94-acre parcel in Cecil,